Another season, another Hyundai. Because for 20 points in autumn of Series 35, you can go ahead and grab yourself the Hyundai Ioniq 5N from 2023. And to me it looks strangely like a toaster. So this thing starts out with 641 brake horsepower, 567 foot-pounds of torque, and weighs a whopping 4,881 pounds with a perfect 50-50 weight distribution, and also a displacement of 0 because sadly it's electric. Now this thing's meant to be kind of, I guess, a design of the hot hatch of the future, and well, I don't know what to say really. It's certainly something. Inside of it looks like pretty much every hatchback ever created, and going to the back is really, to me, where I want to give it that little toaster nickname, because that's just what it looks like at the back. I'm sorry, but it does. Going to the inside, we've got ourselves a couple of screens, one over here for all of our various assorted information, and an infotainment system off to our right hand side. And now let's go ahead and give the toaster a good old run, shall we? So here we are now in the upgrade shop. The first thing I'm doing is going straight to motor and battery to see what we've got. Starting off, of course, we've got ourselves, that 600 and something brake horsepower, and that takes us up to 833 just by swapping out some parts on the current motor. However, the eagle-eyed of you will have spotted this for conversion, because we've got a motor and battery swap from the RIMAC NEVERA. That's nearly 1,900 brake horsepower in this thing. Oh dear. So now we go over to aero and appearance. Going to the front bumper, we've sadly just got ourselves some Forza aero, yes, with tow hook as well. And going to the back, we have got ourselves just the regular old bland boring basic Forza hatchback rear wing. Well, it's not exactly the EV6 level of customization, but at least it's something, I guess. However, we don't have to worry about customizing it because Big Macintosh 762, our resident mechanic, is back with another tune once again. In fact, let's go ahead and haul up the share code. There we go, absolutely fantastic. Feel free to go ahead and download that, because that is what I'm about to do right now. So with those upgrades installed, we are now a lot lighter, so well over 1,000 pounds lighter. This thing is now 3,633 pounds in weight, with 833 brake horsepower for 47,800 credits. So here we are now with the most probably hideous looking car ever known to mankind. So let's go ahead and jump straight to advanced, of which sadly we've got ourselves nothing. Going to manufacturer paints, we've also got ourselves a whopping 1, which is honestly a bit sad really. But we can go ahead and at least paint this in any other colour we wish to. Or, because it's apparently eco-friendly, now it can say it's gone green, quite literally. Now, unlike most cars in these videos I say I wish I'd seen, I have actually seen an Ioniq 5 in person, and they, well, I don't know what to think really. They're futuristic looking, but at the same time, they're not exactly anything great. Apparently, unless your name is cars.com, who decided to call this the best electric vehicle of 2024. And away we go. Now we've got a stupid amount of power. We're in S1. We've already passed another electric vehicle, which I believe is the Cupra Tavascan. And we've got another Cupra next to us. But now we've got to try and go ahead and get this almighty behemoth from 8th to 1st. In fact, we've actually done a pretty good job in that turn, going up to 2nd already. The only other thing that's done that so far is the Mustang Dark Horse. Oh wait, we've found a barrier. Our top speed's 163. Come on, we've got to try and use this thing's turning to get past. On the brake, 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 brake! You see, this is why I'm not a massive fan of EVs. Anyway, moving on. If you wanted to go ahead and get an Ioniq 5 for yourself, then they are honestly really pricey, and I hope you've got some spare change lying around, because these things cost £65,000 for this. And also how much this is in USD for my overseas viewers will also be on screen, hopefully around about now. As long as me in editing remembers to actually add that in. Coming back in at 95%, one more turn to go, the finish line is just there, and across we go with a actually decent amount of pace, a first place, and a time of 1 minute 58. So after a very interesting race, the little green jelly bean is back in the upgrade shop once again, and this time we're going to jump straight back to finding tune setups because we've got a very special one waiting for us. I've just got to go ahead and actually make sure it's here. In fact, it is. There we go. It is Mac once again with Drag Guard. So here is the share code for that tune, and it's called Drag Guard for a very special reason, which I'll get to in just a little bit. In the meantime, the stats for this thing with this tune applied, we are now at just over 4,060 pounds in weight with 1,893 brake horsepower, and we're just about in S2. And honestly, I'm very intrigued to see what this does, and a little bit scared. So here we are now over at the edge of the good old festival, so let's go ahead and try and see if we can get a little bit of a wheelie out of it. Nope. Maybe on launch control? Also no. Okay, to the drag strip we go. Man, I wish I had that many credits. Anyway, here we are over at the edge of the drag strip. We're on launch control, and away we go. Let's go ahead and see what we get out of this thing. Hopefully it's going to be something good. This thing is really, really, really heavy, but it is also, you know, filled with horsepower as much as it will go. We've also got ourselves 209 through the camera, and we are at 215 off the end of the drag strip, but I think this thing might be able to get quicker. In the meantime, I said there's going to be a reason why this thing is called Drag Guard. So we're going to go ahead and just throw this in reverse quickly. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And pay attention to the bottom right side of your screen. And you'll see the... well, it's getting a bit quick, isn't it? In fact, there's 200. And we're nearly matching what we did going forwards in reverse. That... wow. That's something. Certainly something indeed. Right, back to the festival. The only good party trick electric cars have to offer. In the meantime, here we are back at the festival once more. We're going to go ahead and throw back in the RIMAC motor, and we're going to go and make this thing a little bit of a top speed build. So I'll be right back. Oh, it might also be worth noting that the tyres on this thing are 295s both front and rear. The only fun thing that's left now is I've got to go ahead and do all of the tuning. So the tyres, gearing, what one single gear it has, and a lot more. Oh dear. In the meantime, here is this week's Forza Horizon shop. We've got ourselves the Mercedes-AMG 1 Horizon 5's cover car. We've got the white Trailblazer finished t-shirt. We've got the nature car horn, which sounds a bit like this. That was a bit sheepish at the end. Anyway, we've also got ourselves the Hennessy Velociraptor 6x6, the What's Inside emote, the regular Horizon Super Wheel Spin, and the regular Horizon wheel spins also make a comeback for this week as well. Okay, I think we might get close to that grade today. Okay, are we close? Are we close? Are we close? Are we? No, we're not. Okay, here we are now over at the edge of the motorway. We've parked ourselves up nice and all neat. So let's go ahead and get ourselves on launch control, and away we go with the little toaster. Let's go ahead and see what we can get out of this thing. I'm aiming for maybe 250 if we're lucky, but let's go ahead and find out. Come on, turn, please turn, please turn, please turn, please turn, out of the speed zone and into that. But we did get 258. Now, give me a minute. I'm going to go ahead and just reset my car. So moving on from that little bunch of chaos, we've also got ourselves the downhill and speed camera to go, so let's keep going and see what we get, because at the moment, we're doing pretty speedy. Going pretty speedy. Nah, still works. Okay, any second, through the camera we go at 275, we're going downhill 277, 278 for a split second. Can we get it again? There we go, 278 out of the toaster. At the moment, if I tried to put bread in that, I think it would end up char-grilled. However, I'm not done with this little thing quite yet. Because there's also one slice of bread always left at the end, we've got ourselves one more thing to do, and that's to go ahead and take this thing drifting. So let's go ahead and throw this thing in here and see what we get. Hopefully we get something good out of this. I'm really hoping so, because the EV6 was fantastic, and this thing certainly made up for it with 38,616 points. And something else I also want to note, just before we go on to round 2, is if I press in the left stick, that will go ahead and actually put this thing into drift mode, which will give us just a rear wheel drive. Now, obviously, that's kind of asking for too much chaos at the moment with, you know, nearly 1900 brake horsepower, but it is pretty cool to know, because I might try and see if I can actually make this thing a drift build once I'm getting done with this video. Whether it actually works is, well, another thing entirely. In the meantime, let's go ahead and give this good old drift zone round number 2. We'll go ahead and see if we can beat 38,000. So, in we go. Let's go ahead and get ourselves sideways. That might be a bit too sideways. Come on, let's try and see if we can save it. Can we save it? Ah, missed the flag. No! Just gonna go and do that again. Okay, tyres have now been inflated to the moon, so let's go ahead and see what we get this time around. We're again not using a drift mode, which maybe I should have been doing. Let's go ahead and see if we can beat 38,600 and make it out of the other side of the drift zone alive. In fact, we do. 38,224 points. Not bad. You know what, I'm going to do this bit in reverse just because I can. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to go ahead and check out a few of my other videos if you're also intrigued about more vehicles in Forza Horizon 5. And also feel free to go ahead and check out Friday's video about the Kia EV6 GT. But in the meantime, I think this might be another occasion where the season reward car has been better than the overall series, because this thing is absolutely mad, and apparently so is that FJ40 as well. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I would actually recommend going ahead and getting this thing. I don't do that much with electric vehicles, but the little toaster is honestly an absolute menace to society and everybody in it. So in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Oh god, I've messed up. As I was saying, in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I'll go ahead and see you all in the next one. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And as ever, thank you for watching. Tech out. See ya. And yes, this is miles better than the Ioniq 6.